Welcome everybody to Sin City Living. My name is Jason and I'll be bringing you today's episode. As always, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. We have a ton of content for you guys coming out every single week, every single day generally. Occasionally miss a day like I did during the rodeo that is still ongoing right now. And I hope all of our patrons out there are appreciating the patron-only exclusive videos we're putting out with the dice class, putting one out every couple of weeks. And if you're curious about that, go ahead and check the description down below. Once I get this whole live stream thing figured out, I'm probably going to do a live stream on the patron site as well. One on the regular site, one on the patron site. I do have the new computer for it. Theoretically, I have everything ready. I'm just so busy currently with this rodeo. And one of our fans asked a question a little while back about ways to tip us, to show appreciation to us without having to sign up as one of our patrons. And at the time we did not have any way of doing it, but I have managed now to get us signed up with a site called Buy Me a Coffee. As I'm sure some of you guys have noticed from some of our videos, Louie and I are both pretty heavy coffee drinkers. So if you're curious about that as well, go ahead and check down below in the description as well. We would definitely appreciate any cups of coffee you're willing to pick up for us. And don't forget to email us with any strategies, questions, suggestions, anything at all. We love shooting those videos for you guys. I actually haven't gotten a new email in about 2 weeks. And also, don't forget, anybody that may be interested in one of the small Sin City Living neons that we have, just email us that as well, sincitylivingLV@gmail.com. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and get into today's episode. So for today, I want to cover an interesting strategy I came across today, actually. I thought this was pretty cool, and I thought about it on my way home from work today and even figured out a couple ways you could tweak it to different buy-ins. So here's how it works. Once there is a point, regardless of what the point may be, but we're going to go ahead and use the outside numbers. Now, we're going to start this as if this were a $15 minimum bet table. Because that's the table that we were on when this player was doing this particular strategy. I would say that you probably need a buy-in of between $400 to $500 minimum for this particular bet. $600 might be ideal, even up to $900. Depends on your school of thought. Some people think you need 10 times your bet to see 10 shooters. Other people think 15. I think 8 to 10 and you're pretty good. So if you're on a $15 minimum bet table, you're going to need $60. $60 to start off with. You're actually going to need $66 total dollars in order to pull this strategy off. So the way it works is the player will place the 6 and 8 for $30 each. Obviously, this being a $15 minimum bet table, that's a little bit high, but we'll show you why in a minute. They are targeting the minimum bet for the table. So what this player does is they just wait. They wait until one of these hits. It does not matter which one hits. Now, I saw this player play it a couple different ways, and I think it sort of depended upon how much he had lost going into it. A few times, he would collect the first time anything hit. And then about 50% of the time, he would not collect. So you can play this however you like. If you wish to collect it once or twice, by all means go for it. If you want to just jump straight into the main part of the strategy, which is how I would personally play it, then by all means go for it. So once they decide to go for the second part of the strategy, in my case it'd be the first hit, other people second, third hit, what they're going to do is when one of these hits, the player is going to throw in $6. Now, he's going to throw in $1. What am I saying? $6. They're going to throw in $1. That's all they need. So they need $61. $61 is their total outlay for this on a $15 minimum bet table. So what is happening here? Well, what is happening here is they are taking this, they throw in $1, and now, remember, we're at a $15 minimum bet table, correct? So what do they have here? They have their original 60 plus what they've made plus $1. They have $96. $96 on a $15 minimum bet table just so happens to be $96 across, including the point. This was a very, very interesting strategy. I gotta say, I like this strategy. I like strategies that encompass every single point. And I also understand that we can't always just immediately go for this right away. I get that we may need to make smaller bets and then build up to it, kind of like the iron cross where you use it to go around to start expanding out your bets. In this case, you use just the 6 and 8. Use the 6 and 8 at a little bit higher level, and then use the payout plus $1 to put yourself all the way across. Now from here, you get to do whatever you choose to do. If you decide you want to do sister number presses, 4 and 10, 5 and 9, 6 and 8, go for it. If you decide that you want to do power presses, go for it. If you decide that you just want to do mid presses, small presses, collect a little bit, press a little bit, go for it. You have all the options in the world with this particular setup. You can do anything you want, however your personal strategy may be. What if you're on a $10 minimum bet table? Well, that one's simple. On a $10 minimum bet table, your initial outlay is going to be $36 because you're going to do $18 on the 6 and 8. Now here's where you're going to end up having to throw in a little bit more than $1. Maybe your first hit you say same bet, second hit same bet. However many hits you want to do to get to where you feel comfortable taking this up to the next level. Once you're ready to take it up to the next level, you're actually going to have to throw in $7. You're going to have to throw in $7. Why $7? Well, because this bet, either one of these pays 21. Okay, so we're going to pay 20. We're going to pay 25 for 4. So what do you have left over? Well, you have $64 left over. If you're on a $10 minimum bet table, you're looking at 64 across, including the point. Once again, you have every number taken care of. You're placed all the way across. If you wish to add a horn bet or a horn high yo, horn high 12, something along those lines, or a field bet to make sure you cover the 2, 3, 11, 12, go for it. And again, now you have all the options in the world. You can do whatever it is that you choose to do. What about if you are on a quarter table? Now this one I didn't think about in advance, so let's walk this one through. So if you're on a quarter table, minimum bet table, this is going to assume, now if you're on a $25 minimum bet table, your buy-in is probably a minimum of $500, more likely to be $1,000 to $1,500, even $2,000 or more. Otherwise, if you're looking at buy-ins of $500 to $700, you definitely need to find a place with $15 tables. If you're looking at buy-ins of between $200 to $500, then you're definitely looking for $10 tables. And again, this one is perfect. $36 outlay, then another $7 on top of that. $43 gets you 64 across, including the point. And then, if you take a few same bets, something along those lines, then you're going to end up making a little bit of money, or at least breaking even on it, so eventually you can catch a hot roll. Now, this player unfortunately left the table right before we ended up having a 35-minute roll, so it kind of sucked for them. They had the opportunity, and they called it a night right beforehand. But that happens to all of us. We either show up late or show up or leave too early. So if it was a $25 minimum bet table, well, what is across including at this point? It is $160. $160. So what can get us the closest to $160, including the 2 bets, plus a small little bit of a buy-in? Well, let's see now. If we did 42 on each number, would that get us close enough? Well, let's find out. So pay us $1. That's 100. 125, 138. I don't think we want to have to go throwing in $22 on top of our initial bet. So let's bump it up a level. Instead of 42, now we look at 48. So 48, what does 48 pay? Well, 48 pays us $156. So we'll pay it 60 for 4. And let's see what we got here. $152. So $8 more. So at this point, all we'd have to throw in is $8 more. So if we're on a $25 minimum bet table, that's what you want to do. You want to do 48 each on the 6 and 8. That's $96 in action to begin with. Then you're going to have to throw in, what do we say, another $8? You have to throw in another $8. So we're looking at $104 in outlay to get 160 across, including the point. It's one of my, this is one of my favorite bets because this bet doesn't pay you anything in white. It doesn't pay you any dollars. Everything is red and green. I personally absolutely love that. So, so there you have it, guys. It's an interesting little strategy that I saw today. Like I said, it's first time I've seen it. And I really, really, really like it. There's some real thought put into it, and it's not a difficult one to deal to either. The first time, depending on the strength of the dealer, this may confuse the heck out of them at first, but once they've done it once, then it's pretty much just flows all by itself. And if they've got a little bit of experience, they'll be able to put this one together for you really, really, really quick. So, yeah, there you have it. I like the strategy. So there we go, folks. Another real world strategy that I got from a player that I dealt to. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys find these strategy videos illuminating. And even if it's not a strategy that you personally are going to play, possibly it's something that you can just think about, add to what you're already doing, or maybe give you an idea for what kind of strategy and what kind of bets you personally would choose to do if you had the opportunity. So please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We will catch you guys next time. Bye now. So, as I promised, I wanted to go over very briefly our upcoming attempts at a third test live stream. So what's happened so far? The first test live stream just flat didn't work. The problem that I had was was an equipment problem. I had an equipment problem in that the equipment that I was using to translate the camera into streamable video to the computer required a better USB port than the computer I was using at the time. So that one just flat failed because it would not translate into the computer. The computer would not pick it up, would not read it, so I wasn't able to live stream it. So then, as I was looking through, because I'm a little bit of a tech head, as I was looking through all of my other stuff, because I do have 4 laptops here and 3 computers, I did find one that actually did have the newer style USB port. Unfortunately, it was actually my oldest laptop, but I figured, what the heck, let me give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen? And this time around, when I fired everything up, the video was actually translating onto the computer, so things were looking better. But then when I attempted to live stream, the computer was not powerful enough to be able to translate it and then upload it sufficiently. So it basically just uploaded a blank screen for the live stream. So what I am going to have to do is, and I'm already looking into all of my options, I'm going to upgrade my computer so I can add, what, a 7th, 8th computer to my household. And I'm going to go much, much higher, and I'm going to get a computer that is far more than I need for this, far, far, far more powerful than I need for this. That way, any future upgrades that I may do, the computer will be able to handle it. So unfortunately, this computer is going to cost me about 25% more, about 25% of what I've already laid out in all the equipment for this channel. So it wasn't something I could just instantly buy. I'm probably looking at Black Friday or Cyber Monday. So hopefully I have it within the next couple of weeks, and then I'll do another test live stream and see if I can go from there. So I will definitely do at least one weekly live stream on our Patreon because they're the ones that are really helping us get this computer. And the other equipment that I'm going to get, because I figure if I'm buying the computer, I might as well buy the most high-end capture cards and things along those lines, get everything as good as possible, and then hopefully eventually get a better microphone for you guys. So yeah, that's where we stand on the live stream. As soon as I have the computer and I do the test, which will be in a few weeks, like I said, I've got to order it in a week or two, then I have to wait for it to ship. Plus we have probably the biggest event of the year coming up, the NFR National Finals Rodeo. So I'm basically working 2 weeks straight, as is my wife. So not going to have a whole lot of time. But once we get all that under control, then we'll figure out. There's been some schedule changes to myself, some schedule changes to my wife, and some upcoming schedule changes to my wife as well. So hopefully we can get all the scheduling figured out so I know when I'll be able to live stream as well. My initial plan of Thursdays at 6 o'clock is already out the window. I'm at work at that point now. So we will get it all figured out, and we will let you guys know, I promise. And otherwise, I hope you guys have found this interesting, enlightening, illuminating, or at least just plain fun. And we will catch you guys next time. Bye now.